on, people? Mike C-Town here, Dead in Hip Hop, here for another solo album review. And today I'm going to talk about the newest album from the Sage Francis, Copper Gone. I wasn't sure what to expect from this album. His last album, Life, was a departure from what he'd done before that. You know, it relied a bit more on live instrumentation. A lot of the songs had almost a band feel to them. The lyrics were really poetic, which of course he's known for, but these seemed a bit more poetic to me. A few of the songs even had almost a country feel. But at the end of the day, I thought that record was, absolutely brilliant. And I still say that the song "The Best of Times" is one of the best songs he's ever written. It's such a great way to put life as an awkward kid, which I can definitely relate to. This album was a big departure from Life. It was back to the more hip-hop style production, not so much live instrumentation, which, speaking of the production, it's absolutely fantastic. I think production-wise, this is Sage's most together record. All the beats sound fantastic to me, with production by Buck 65, by Alias, Reanimator, Cecil Otter, Le Parasite, and a whole bunch of others. I think all of these guys gave Sage some incredible beats to rhyme over. Lately it's been a consistent thing with me where it takes me a few listens of an album to really get it and finally say that I like it. And this is the first one that I've heard in a while where I liked it on first listen, where the first run through I said, this is a dope record. This album starts off on fire. You know what I'm saying? Pressure Cooker, again, not what I expected. The crazy beat from Cecil Otter, Sage spitting raw. It kind of reminds me of Underground for Dummies, the first song on Human the Death Dance. They say anger is a gift. I'm very gifted. And if ignorance is bliss, then I'm a sadomasochist. Man. I love the way this dude strings words together. I like how that moved into one of the more poetic songs, which is Grace. A song that's, from what I can tell about the coming to the realization that a relationship is ending. I got a new bag of tricks to turn. A new black magic woman witch to burn. So much for live and learn. He's landed in another failed relationship and didn't learn from his mistakes of past ones. Been there. ID Thieves is what seems like a scathing attack on indie rappers who are maybe taking advantage of the indie rap scene or who are using the whole indie rap thing as a way to make themselves sound more important than they actually are. Never forget you are the sperm that made it and the unexpected pregnancy could have been terminated. I also love the line, I sense a sentimental song coming along, run along, before I ask you to dance and all you get is trampled on. I take that line as, don't think of trying to test me or challenge me on the mic, because I might actually take that challenge and absolutely decimate you, which I believe he could do. I'd like to know if he was talking to someone directly on ID Thieves, and if so, who's he talking about? Especially towards the end of the song, it seems like there's a direct target to his frustration. But I know Sage will never let us know who he's speaking to. In a true poet's way, this is an attack on someone, and all he wants is that person to know, but he doesn't need everybody else to know. And that's perfectly fine, but still, the curious, weird hip-hop nerd in me would love to know who he's going at. He also seems to carry that frustration along on Cheat Codes, which is another super dope track. Once Upon a Blood Moon, a beautiful, beautiful song about regret, about having a woman in his life and not doing what it takes to keep her in his life or to keep the relationship together, being too caught up in his career to be the mate that she wanted, needed, or deserved. Make 'em purr. I have to say, this is one of my favorite songs this year, easily. The way he talks about the struggle with isolation and depression, how the only ones he can truly trust or truly depend on are his cats. It seems that he has broken up with a woman, and he has a line where he says, "She called me on Christmas. That was my gift. She was worried I might die. I said I might die. No shit." Then you get down further in the song where he has the line where he's talking about his cat who almost died. I believe it was last year. It was either last year or the year before. I remember him posting about this. But he says they put that feeding tube in his neck. I said, please let this work, because if it doesn't, I got nothing left. I didn't say that, but they saw that. Cat had my tongue. He is absolutely amazing with words. Like, when he says these things, you see it, you get it, you feel it. This hits home for me, especially because everyone knows I'm the crazy cat lady. I can totally sympathize with feeling like humanity is worthless and not wanting to deal with any of them in exchange for the companionship of a pet. When I had my heart broken a few years ago, the worst of any relationship, I spent a straight week on my couch with nothing but a bottle of Jack. Well, probably more like 3 or 4 bottles of Jack. And I just drank every single night and got wasted. And the only ones there for me were my 2 cats. My friends would just send me these bullshit text messages. It's cool, man. She was a bitch anyway, which doesn't help. Or I never liked her, which that doesn't help either. Because the thing about it is, you know what? She's not a bitch. And even if you never liked her, I liked her. So those sentiments do nothing for someone who was in love and the relationship ended not because of violence or infidelity or something like that, but just because of standard life situations and life circumstances. I remember my cat, Buffy, rest in peace, she spent every single night on that couch with me with her head on my legs, just looking at me as if she's saying, you know what, we loved her too, but everything's gonna be good. And I swear to God, that made me feel 10 times better. 10 times better than any bullshit empathy or sympathy that I could have gotten from a human. So, Make 'Em Purr, hands down, one of my favorite songs this year. The beauty of Sage Francis has always been his words. He can take simple concepts and write something so beautifully poignant about it. Barely even know it if it appears that I hate your guts. It's just that both sides of my bed are the wrong ones and I'm always waking up. Such a simple concept of always being in a bad mood or agitated or whatever, but he says it in such a clever way that only Sage Francis can say. Some of my other favorite lines from this album, if I kill your persecution complex, that doesn't make you a martyr. Amazing. Or drop the styrofoam cross, you can't walk on water. You can use it for flotation, not a flying saucer. I took this as stop using religion as a way to make yourself seem special. You can use that cross to float by in life, but are these choices, actions, and judgments really going to get you into the kingdom of heaven? And more importantly, is there even a kingdom of heaven to go to? Or you could take this line to refer to maybe emotional baggage. Stop using your emotional baggage to justify doing shitty things to other people. It doesn't make you special, right? You can use it for a while to justify being a certain way, but after a while that excuse runs out and it stops meaning anything. So, I don't know. It could be either one of those things, or it can mean something completely different, but that's the beauty of poetry. You take what you need and what you want from it, and the next person, hey, they might take something completely different. On cheat codes, I love the line, sick of hearing rap with no feeling, sick of trauma porn addicts thinking they're poets. That's not soul bearing. I think this is a shot at rappers who are simply just not honest with themselves in their music. You have rappers who just rap about whatever bullshit topic is popular at the time. And then you have rappers who always want to act like they're going through something just so they have something to talk about. But neither one is really effective as far as being a rapper that people can really connect with unless you're relatively empty as well. Just like Slug, I've always appreciated Sage Francis's honesty. You know, he's never been afraid to talk about exactly who he is or what he's about, even if it's really, really unpopular. But I'd say almost more so than Slug. You know, Sage approaches hip hop with a real heart on your sleeve purpose. You know, he wants to tell you everything that's on his mind, from being in love to heartbreak to being vegetarian to self-worth to self-image issues. You know, to me, there's never anything better than an honest rapper, and he's got to be one of the most honest out there. I've heard people say that this is a return to his old style, and I don't really see it that way. You know, this record to me doesn't really sound like his old material. You know, mainly because the overall feel of this record says maturity. You know, the production feels more mature, the songwriting feels more mature, the rhymes feel more mature. I don't think he would have written an album like this when he was younger. You know, he's writing this now because that's the place that he's in life. You know, and he's capturing that for the world and I suppose for himself on record. The only thing I see missing from this record is the humor. Sage Francis is a hilarious dude, but I feel like this record is a lot more serious than some of his other records, which I'm fine with, but I also like the jokey Sage. Either way, what Sage gives you here is a true emotional roller coaster. You know, on Copper Gone, he's reminding you that he's an MC, one that came from the ground up, one that's done and won multiple MC battles, you know, one that can rip an MC 3 or 4 new assholes on the mic if he wants to. But he's also telling you that he's a human being first, one with opinions, one with emotions, one with flaws, and one that you can connect with because you have all of those things too. So, in the end, I think this is a fantastic album. Definitely one of my favorites for the year. One that I think that you need to actually sit down and read the lyrics for in order to really get the impact and understand what Sage is talking about and going through. I think he really gives a great performance here and really makes you understand why he took a 4-year hiatus since his last record. Because this is life, and this is a grown man going through some grown man things. And, you know, you can't really tell with the record, but hopefully he's coming out on top. So, if you've heard this record, be sure to leave me a comment or two. Let me know what you thought about it. Also, he's on tour right now, so make sure if he's coming to your town, you go see him. He gives a great performance. I've seen him many times, and I definitely plan on seeing him when he comes to Atlanta with B. Dolan, who I also think is dope. So yeah, that's it. As usual, thank you for living, thank you for loving, thank you for being you, and I will see you guys soon. Aight? Peace, bitches.